Welcome to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton. Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us this week on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to our television broadcast sponsor, Larson's Hay.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton back in the studio this week with Dancin Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship. And we have a great lineup for you.
Oh boy.
Today. We do indeed. We have Dr. Cayot. He's going to be talking about what happens when you get something stuck in your horse's hoof and what to do and what not to do. So he'll be with us for the second segment. Then we're going to celebrate Isaac Brosius. Certainly worth celebrating. Yes, big round of applause from the audience. He'll be coming on to chat a little bit because it's his birthday today and he didn't call in sick. And that alone is worth celebrating.
Because we wouldn't be on the air if he called in sick.
Right, we might not be. Although Kylie does a fairly good job jumping in and replacing him, I must say. Hats off to Kylie for that. So she'll be taking his spot for the third segment so we can talk to Isaac. And then we'll also have, seems appropriate, the adventures of the ugliest, weirdest, wonkiest donkey, who is actually with us this week in the studio making a special appearance, and we'll share with you what he's done over the past week or so and how you could win him.
Wow.
Hobby Horse Equestrian
Where is he?
Games and Parade.
Where is he?
He's hanging around here somewhere. We'll find him in a minute. So then we're going to have a little bit of a chat about fencing over the course of the next few weeks. You took him.
I took him. Let's go back to fencing.
Yes, back to fencing. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of horse fencing and the importance of hiring a proper contractor to do the job that does it right the first time because of all the issues you could come up against. And over the course of the next few weeks, we're going to be sharing some of those do's and don'ts. And we're going to start with a little recap of that. And then we're going to have Maria Ah Foon with us, and we're going to talk a little horse massage, people massage, and dressage. I like that they almost rhyme. Dressage and massage.
Oh, yeah. It definitely rhymes.
It does, almost.
We're going to get a massage while we do dressage.
Yes, there you go. And actually, Maria will be managing the dressage of the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games as well as she did last year so beautifully. So you'll be able to meet her in person if you come to the Florida Horse Park. And then we're going to top out the show with Pete's Tip of the Week, an unbelievable experience I had with Pat Myers Electric, taking care of all my current needs. And we're also going to do the Ocala Dog Ranch Tip of the Week and some reminders at the end so you don't forget about important events that we're going to mention right now, like the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games.
We're getting close.
Parade, presented by Ag-Pro, part of the Equine initiative, presented by Piranha. It's going to be a lot of fun.
October 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Florida Horse Park. Be there or don't be there.
Miss out.
Or don't be there.
If you're not there, you're going to miss out. We are going to start the day off with the national anthem with the Florida Mounted, and then we are going to begin our very special event with an all-breed parade, about 60 plus horses signed up right now, to show you and showcase how incredible the horse capital of the world is.
And the parade is sponsored by Pat Myers Electric.
Yeah, so him and his team and family will be leading that parade. Ooh. And you will get to see some breeds you have probably never seen before. Everything from spotted draft horses to Mangalaga Marchadors, Pasafinos, Appaloosas, quarter horses, thoroughbreds. We've got a few amazing surprises for you there that'll be really, really fun. And it'll be a really, really fun, fantastic time. Then we're going to have some demos 6 demos done by some top equestrians in the demo arena. And then at noon, you can head towards the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, and we'll have, what sports will we have, Dancin Pete Rodda?
We'll have show jumping, dressage, horse racing, mounted shooting, roping, barrel racing, and polo.
Then we're going to judge the stick horses. So if you bring a stick horse, you will win a prize if you have the best stick horse individually, the best business stick horse, the best school colours stick horse. So trophies for that. And then the one and only world's worst hobby horse ever at the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games. You can win the wonkiest, ugliest, weirdest donkey trophy.
Hopefully somebody tries to win that on purpose and not you give it to somebody that accidentally thought they were bringing a nice stick horse.
We'll definitely try to separate. And so this could be yours.
Oh boy.
Yes, all happening at the Florida Horse Park on October 21st. Should be a lot of fun. Don't forget the Pyranha Golf Tournament is coming up. The
November
Pyranha
3rd.
Foundation Benefit Golf Tournament, November 3rd. Where is it, Pete?
It is at the Country Club of Ocala.
You can register now. You can support this by sponsoring. Last year they raised $30,000, and it was for fantastic charities like the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch,
Gentle Carousel, Therapeutic Horses,
and Canines for Warriors. 3 wonderful charities.
and we're going to have the pro Ted Potter there to give you some tips.
Yep, and if you'd like to sponsor a foursome, I think there may be 1 or 2 left, $1,000 to do that. If you just want to make a donation of any amount, you can make a donation to the Pyranha Life Foundation, and this will all be divided. 100% of proceeds will go to the 3 charities. November 3rd, in a breakfast and registration at 7:30, golf tournament from 9 to 2, 2 to 3 lunch buffet, 3 to 5 you can go and take a nap. And from
6 to 10
you can dance with Pete.
Woohoo!
Dinner, awards, and ceremony presentations, Western cocktail business, or golf attire is fine for that. And there's lots of prizes. And of course, as Pete mentioned, the golf pro Ted Potter will be there. So it should be a fantastic time. Pyranha don't do anything that's not fantastic.
It'll be a lot of fun. Last year it was way over the top.
Speaking of Gentle Carousel, they were just at the Tryon International Film Festival. I'm so very proud of them.
Wow.
They showed up there with magic and their film, of course, which is phenomenal, and we are so proud of them and all that they do for our community. And look at George and Magic, class act there. Gentle Carousel.
Look like they have matching hooves.
I know, right? Really good stuff, though, and we love that. And if you were wondering why my hair is looking so silky,
I wasn't. I mean, I was.
You were wondering.
I was wondering.
Looking so silky because I'm not putting that horrible salt softener, which was such a monstrosity, a big hog machine taking up the whole side of my house and looking so incredibly ugly, and pouring salt into it, which is not good at all, was replaced by a wonderful Nuvo Water System this week. And I am super excited about it because, 1, it doesn't take up the whole side of my house with its sheer ugliness. 2, it doesn't make the terrible noises that ugly system made, and I don't have to pour a ton of salt in anymore, no salt at all. And we're going to be talking more about this Nuvo H2O system over the coming weeks.
Who installed it for you?
Alan Davis.
And he's with Nuvo?
Yes. He is actually, Hydrodynamics is his company, and he actually came over on Sunday, and he and Greg actually installed that system. But that's not what he does for a living, but it was to get rid of my stuff, and he partnered with them. So, and if you saw the ugly monstrosity that used to take up the side of my house and make terrible noises and require salt, and I didn't want that because salt takes the minerals out of the water. So I did not want that system, and this is fantastic. I'm so impressed, and my hair likes it, and we'll be sharing with you over the next couple of weeks a little bit. We'll have Alan here in the studio with us. We're looking forward to that. So all good stuff going on. And I knew Pete was wondering why my hair looks so...
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
So silky.
And that sound means...
that we're coming back with Dr. Cayot. What to do when you get something stuck in your horse's hoof. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show, and we'll be back. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Join us for the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, presented by Ag-Pro Companies of Ocala on October the 21st at the Florida Horse Park. Enjoy the parade of horse breeds, take a free hay ride, and learn horse sports by competing from the safety of a stick horse. Win ribbons and prizes in barrel racing, show jumping, roping, racing, and polo. Plus food trucks and a vendor village. Don't forget to horse around with us October the 21st, 10 to 6 p.m. at the Florida Horse Park. Free admission for all. This event is part of the CEP's Equine Initiative, presented by Piranha.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care in the horse capital of the world with our regular veterinarian, Dr. Adam Cayot. And we're going to chat about when something like a nail or a sharp object gets stuck in the bottom of your horse's foot.
Yeah.
What should you do and not do?
Okay, so the number one thing that if you notice that you pick up a nail or the horse picks up a nail in its foot is don't pull it out right away. Resist that urge to pull it out.
That's a pretty big urge.
That's a very big urge because they're standing there three-legged. Call your veterinarian. Tell them you have a nail in the foot, you haven't pulled it out, and you need to have some x-rays taken. Now, the reason we do that is because we need to see where the nail actually went in and what is affected by that nail. Certain places on the foot are worse than the others. Pretty much you get any nail in around the frog at a fairly deep spot, that's a bad spot to have a nail. If you get nails around the edge or on the sole but around the edge, those are better spots, but even still we want to know how far in that nail went and where exactly on the foot and what structures might be affected. So resist that urge to pull the nail out and call your veterinarian immediately and see if they can get out and take some x-rays. Once those are done, then you can pull the nail out, and it's probably even a good idea, if you can do it, is to hold the horse's foot off the ground as long as you can so that they don't push weight on it and push the nail further in, you know, so.
Where it could do more damage.
Exactly, where it could do more damage. I mean, you know, depending on the spot, you know, a 1/4 of an inch could affect a lot of things. So if you can do that, obviously that's difficult for some people to do, and it's difficult for the horse because they're not going to stand still that long, and depending on how long your vet takes to get there, it might be difficult. But if you can, try to do that. And then, you know, once the x-rays can be taken and assessed of where, you know, where the nail was and what structures might or might not be affected, then you go with a treatment plan. If you happen to see that the horse stepped on a nail and the nail fell out or whatever, and there's a little bit of blood, or that's generally, if it fell out on its own, that tends to not be that big a deal because it obviously didn't go in that far. And a lot of times I'll treat those basically as a hoof abscess, so I'll treat them like, you know, soak them in Epsom salts and pack them with like a Magna paste or something like that with an Epsom salt pack, just to continue to draw out that the shmoo, so to speak, you know.
Right.
So, probably put them on some antibiotics at that point as well. And you want to make sure that you've had a tetanus shot. That's always important.
Right.
So make sure you're up to date on your tetanus vaccine in those situations. And you know, it's not the end of the world. I mean, some of them can be very bad and require surgery. They call a street nail procedure, where they actually cut a hole in the bottom of the foot, generally over the frog area, so that all that, you know, basically the nail's dirty, right? So it's all the bacteria and dirt that was pushed up into the thing, into the foot, can drain and be cleaned and addressed, and then the foot can grow in, and good things can go on from there. But yeah, just resist that urge to pull the nail out, because that's what everybody wants to do, and
right.
I get it. I understand. I'd want to do it too, but it can really be beneficial if, you know,
good to give something for pain too, right?
Oh, yeah,
while you're waiting
Banamine or
for the
Butte,
vet to come.
Yep. And you know, and honestly, if it's you know, you just can't keep the horse off of it or whatever, you know, talk to your veterinarian and tell them where it is and on the foot, or even in this day and age, you can take a picture,
right,
and send it, you know, and that can help too, because if it's on, like I said, if it's on the edge, I might say, you know, on the edge of the foot or the sole, I might say, you can go ahead and pull it out. There's nothing there that's that important. We'll deal with it as, you know. But if it's around the frog, unfortunately,
you probably got to leave it.
Yes. Leave it in and see where it went.
And see what next steps are.
Yeah.
Concerns about laminitis or anything after this?
Well, it depends on how bad they're lame. So if they, you know, if they're really sore on the foot that had the nail for an extended period of time, then you worry about laminitis developing in the alternate foot because they're bearing more weight on it. But generally, it's not a huge concern in that particular instance. Because
probably much worse if it's a front foot than a back foot, because that's the load bearing.
Yep, that's the weight. You know, all the weight's carried up there, and even, you know, even if you have a mild one, I mean, they'll be off. You know, they'll be lame. What I mean by off is they'll be lame probably for a couple of weeks at least. You know, because that not only does the nail bruise that tissue, you know, it causes you know, obviously a puncture into the sensitive lamina, and that has to heal, and you know, it can take a little while. I mean, I just had a big jumping horse that stepped on a nail like 3 weeks ago. He's fine now, but he was, you know, he was walking sound, but then she'd get on to ride him, and he'd be off at the trot riding, and he's fine now. But my point of the story is they can be lame for a little while.
Yes.
You know?
So it can
it's
be
not
a
like
time.
you just pull it out a couple days, he's gonna be fine. That's not the way it works.
It can take time.
Yeah.
So you have to be patient with the healing.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Dr. Adam Cayot, talking about a nail or something sharp in a horse's foot and what you should and shouldn't do in the treatment process. Louisa Barton here at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care for the Horse Talk Show. Dr. Adam Cayot from Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, talking about the do's and don'ts of having something stuck in your horse's hoof. And I'm telling you, it is very tempting to just first reflex action. Oh gosh, let's get that out. Yes, absolutely. And Dr. Cayot addressed that, and how that is kind of what we think. We go into like rescue mode. So you have to really kind of be very careful not to jump to your kind of first reaction, which is like we always want to save our horse, right? And do the best thing.
Ride a cowboy. Oh, I mean, that's another...
What am I going to do with him? So you may wonder what's going on here. I'm going to tell you that my very dear friend, massage therapist Maria Ah Foon, is here in the studio with us to do a segment. We're very, very thrilled to have her back with us. And she is working on my headache because Pete was singing. So, anyway, we'll be back.
Check the comments for bloopers. I got it on camera.
Oh, good. Yeah. We're going to celebrate Isaac next, so stay with us. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Pyranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. At Crystal Cryo, you can relax and enjoy a non-invasive cryo skin facial. Reduce fine lines and wrinkles and tighten the skin. Improve texture and tone. Stimulate collagen production. Reduce inflammation and acne. And increase blood flow to the skin, resulting in a more youthful, radiant appearance. And it all takes only about 30 minutes. Boost your confidence now and set up a consultation. Find Crystal Cryo at crystalcryo.net or on social media. Experience the ultimate in relaxation and rejuvenation. Pamper and revitalize your body, mind, and spirit at Crystal Cryo.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, Piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Be quiet, Pete.
Yeah, Pete.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
We are in the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala, and we are celebrating Isaac Brosius, who is show director and producer, editor.
That's me.
And that's him, yes. And Isaac, happy birthday. And now, because Pete is such an expert singer, he is going to sing happy birthday. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Isaac. Happy birthday to you.
Woo! And many more. And so we have a cake for you.
I've
as you
noticed.
can see, that says Happy Birthday Isaac on it. And you can feel free to tuck into that. And then there's a Prezi down there.
That's called a present.
That's a Prezi. That's the English version of a Prezi. So you can open your present and you can tell us that rustling noise, by the way, is tissue paper.
Lots of paper.
Yes, Tom Schmitz will be loving us when he gets this ready for the radio on Sky 97.3.
Between my singing and the wrapping paper.
He might quit. I hope he doesn't quit. He might up his rates. It's entirely possible.
How could this be?
Yes, you can wear that if
I
you
believe
like.
this is a tactical vest.
It is.
Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
And what is a tactical vest?
A tactical vest is so he can wear it when he wears
I can
his.
hold more magazines of ammo, whether in real life or real situations, or more likely in airsoft.
Airsoft, probably airsoft.
Then target practice.
Yes, I thought you would appreciate that
green.
guy.
Lovely.
Yeah, he's scary, right?
Lovely see-through.
I know. I thought you'd
Sort
like
of.
that. You'd appreciate scary since
Yes.
you like the scary train. I
And
thought.
Yes, and
that
it's
was.
small, so it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. I know you like a challenge. That's
I
why
do.
you work at the horse talk show.
Also
And
looking
then-
for a phone.
It's, yes.
a mysterious box.
It's another target thingy. Oh, and is there a
And a
card
bag.
in there? There's a
Good
card.
thing.
Oh, and the best part of the whole Prezi, thank you,
gosh.
Maria, for mentioning, all in an Ocala Dog Ranch bag. These are
Wow.
extremely useful, by the way, and hold a lot of things. And what Louisa likes about them is the fact she can see through them. She knows if she has her things with her or not. That she
You can take
needs
that on the
today.
plane.
So, I know, it's a brilliant, brilliant thing. So
what's
here's
in the box?
Here's the card.
Oh.
Here's the card, and
I'll speed read it real quick.
yes, speed read it, and so
Read it out loud
And
so we can all
Neil.
hear it.
That's kind of. You didn't
Yes.
have to do this.
that's so you could get your airsoft gun.
Okay.
Because I tried, and I didn't know what to get.
Okay.
And I know you, Mr. OCD perfectionist. I love you dearly, but I thought if I get you one, it won't be the right one.
What is the in the
So-
box?
So,
Good thing I always carry a knife, like Dancin Pete's tip.
yeah,
That's right.
Dancing Pete's tip. Horses always carry a
I
knife.
have my knife all the time.
Isaac, I'm impressed. You do. He
In
listens
fact,
to you.
I just remember the last time I used it, a horse hooked its rope halter, on the bottom of a trailer and stuck itself, and luckily stopped, and I took my knife and cut that right off real quick. And
See, and Isaac listens. He
There
listens
you
to
go.
you, and is very important that he always has that with him because
That's
we have
right.
him in lots of horse situations lately. So, and that's another target for you. I think it's like a box target. One.
Oh, that wasn't important.
No, I hope it wasn't.
he just broke it. That sound you heard on the radio is him dropping it.
Yes.
Yes, I did not know I was Linus Tech Tips.
And then to add a little bit extra. Ooh, he likes that one. You can tell.
Yes.
Yes, that's
It's the one that you can compete with your friends where you have to shoot one side, then it goes to the other, and then they have to shoot it, and then
This is with the
competition
airsoft. We just want to
Yes.
reiterate. This is with the airsoft.
Yeah, this is airsoft.
Yes, this
Wink,
is
wink.
fun.
Whatever that
right?
means.
Anyway, we thought Isaac was definitely worth celebrating. Not only do we love him, we also appreciate all the work that he does and how phenomenal he is at all.
If
his...
you don't know who Isaac is, he is the guy that you get to hear us, see us, and all the fancy camera work.
Yes, is all Isaac and
Producer
amazing.
and editor.
Yep, that's what
Yes.
it says on my shirt.
He does a phenomenal job. And Kylie, Mabe, who is standing in for him right now, let's give her a big round of applause because that
So
way
what
he
you're
could-
hearing now is because of Kylie.
Yeah, he could visit us for his birthday, and Isaac we're also giving you a raise this week. So
Wow.
you're welcome. So
Mine's
happy
the
birthday.
23rd.
Don't worry, we'll do something to you. We'll put
Okay.
cake in your face.
To him?
Did I say to him?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm pretty
it was
sure
a
you did.
slip
I'm
for
coming
him.
for this.
Freudian slip
Yeah.
right there.
Okay.
We'll do something for him. That's what I meant to say. And we're going to change it up just for a minute because we want to share with you the adventures of the wonkiest, weirdest, ugliest donkey. Great. He's so fantastic. So you could win him at the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games. He has been to the mountains. He has tried to ride a Harley. He has gone to church in the mountains. Yes, he tried to drive a Harley. He didn't do a very good job. He did go to church and watch Pastor Tim in the mountains. He was, I don't think it helped him very much, but it's okay. It was good for me. He saw some very nice waterfalls. He liked the waterfalls quite a bit. He had things to say about that. So he's quite well traveled. He had a little break in the North Carolina mountains, but he really needed. And as you can see, he's smiling. If you're watching us on Equus Television on Facebook, you'll see he's smiling. If you're on the radio, just have to go to Facebook and like us, and you can roll back, or you can go to Equus Television. He did a little hiking, found some streams and things to visit. He was working. You
don't get out much, do you?
No, not a lot.
Didn't think so.
No, actually, no. First time in years I've even had any sort of a break. But he's had some travels. I think he might have gone to the Ocala Dog Ranch as well for a visit. He did. He even visited their nice new sign out front, and sat up there and hoped he could do some dock diving, but I don't think he's quite up to it. There's the dock diving behind. See, there's Neil. See Neil? So he did visit the Ocala Dog Ranch and check out their new signage, and kicked his legs up a little bit. So there he is at the Ocala Dog Ranch. I've got my Ocala Dog Ranch shirt on, see? I'm a fan. Isn't that nice? Look, he got his picture taken in the fall setting of the pumpkins and whatnot. He doesn't have much.
Scarecrows. It's getting scary in here.
It's getting scary. Anyway, so we're going to keep you up to date on the adventures of the weirdest, ugliest, wonkiest donkey over the course of the next couple of weeks, because you could win him. And not because we want to get into any kind of issues with any kind of copyright. We didn't call him the Wonky Donkey, but we are going to also give away the Wonky Donkey books with him when you win him, and they are funny and cute and really good. Pete was reading some of them on the break. The Dinky Donkey.
The Wonky Donkey.
The Wonky Donkey. The Wonky Donkey's Big Surprise. You could win the books and the highly coveted trophy of the ugliest, wonkiest donkey at the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games if you have the weirdest, wonkiest stick horse ever.
And for those of you who are not convinced of the prestige of this trophy, it's a bobblehead.
It really is.
It's not a bobblehead.
It's a bubble butt.
It's the other way around, yeah.
It's a bubble butt, yeah.
It's not a bobblehead.
It's a bubble butt. So we hope you'll join us at the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games on October 21st at the Florida Horse Park and bring the ugliest, wonkiest looking stick horse you've ever had, so you can win the trophy and wish Isaac a happy birthday. We'll be back with Maria and Pete, and we'll be talking about fencing and how not to choose a fence company or handyman to do the job. So stay with us. This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. At Crystal Cryo, you can relax and enjoy a non-invasive cryo skin facial. Reduce fine lines and wrinkles and tighten the skin. Improve texture and tone. Stimulate collagen production. Reduce inflammation and acne. And increase blood flow to the skin, resulting in a more youthful, radiant appearance. And it all takes only about 30 minutes. Boost your confidence now and set up a consultation. Find Crystal Cryo at crystalcryo.net or on social media. Experience the ultimate in relaxation and rejuvenation. Pamper and revitalize your body, mind, and spirit at Crystal Cryo.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with my co-host, Dancin Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship, and another of our co-hosts who we don't have on the show as much as we would like, but we love having her back with us, Maria Ah Foon,
Maria.
with Midnight Rose Equestrian. I was actually wearing my Midnight Rose Equestrian t-shirt on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
I should have taken a selfie.
You should have.
We're celebrating Isaac's birthday this week, our producer and director and editor, and we have his cake here. That everybody's getting a slice of to celebrate him, and we are going to talk about a topic, and actually over the next few weeks we'll have a couple of different fence people that we're going to talk to get some feedback on horse fencing. But one of the things that we want to talk about is the selection of your fencing person, lining up prices and picking the least expensive. Even if you're on a bit of a tight budget, it's not always the right thing to do.
Might cost you more in the end.
It might cost you more in the end, exactly. And I'm going to tell you a couple of things. First of all, ask how many horse fences, not how many fences, but how many horse fences they have actually done, and also ask for some references. Looking at this wire, you can actually see that this wire is rectangular shape wire. Okay, you can see that, right? It's narrow on the top, longer on the sides. Very, very important when you're fencing for horses. No climb horse wire is really, really important if you're not doing just boards. Now, some people do 3 or 4 boards. If you're not doing wire, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to do wire, but if you do wire, you need to make sure you use no climb. Now, there's a reason for that. It's a lot more expensive than regular field fence. And how do you know if somebody is using no climb or that rig? I don't even know what that rig is. Let's not even look at that rig, because I've never seen anything quite like that. The field fence, which if you're watching us on the television or on Facebook, you'll be able to see what the field fence looks like. It's squares instead of oblongs. See squares? See how it's the same length? Either side, right? It's a box, not a rectangle. Why is that dangerous? Because a horse can put its hoof through.
Or a shoe can get caught on it easier.
Yes, certainly can. And if you have miniature horses like I have, those squares are actually extremely dangerous, because miniatures' feet are a lot smaller than a regular horse-sized foot. So a hoof can easily go through, and you're thinking, well, how or why would they do that? Well, a couple of things. Sometimes they paw the ground and they get a foot caught. But what happens more often than not, a lot of people don't even think about this, is they roll. And when they roll, they quite often roll from one side to the other. and they roll against that fence, if their hoof can't go through the square or rectangle, you're fine. But if a horse puts their foot through that square, it's going to either break its leg trying to get out, colic from the stress of being stuck, cut its leg off with the wire or part of its foot. All sorts of issues can happen. So no climb horse fence wire if you're using wire. It's so important. Another thing, barbed wire obviously is something you don't want to use with horses as well.
So like
Do you see that beautiful cut right there? You see that?
I noticed that like the wire's a little loose too.
Can you see that wiggle?
Yeah.
Okay, so your wire shouldn't wiggle like that. If your wire wiggles like that, you've got a couple of things going on. One, the chances are posts are probably not tamped in properly, is first. That's another beautiful piece of artwork there going on, isn't it? But another thing to be aware of is you will see this fencing has what the fencing person that did this job refers to as brace posts. These are these posts here. I refer to them as a horizontal post, not a brace post, because they actually aren't bracing anything. One of the reasons, exactly, there's no wire. So if when you create a brace, which is what pulls your fence, actually allows you to pull your fence really, really hard and tight, is that brace wire. If you don't use the bracing wire...
And that's the wire that goes from the top of one post to the bottom of the other post.
Diagonally.
Diagonally.
That actually is what holds that brace there, so you can pull that wire really, really tight. So if you don't use that, after the fact, you can't add that brace wire because it doesn't do anything at that point. It's there to brace those posts. That's not a brace post. That's just a horizontal post.
And your wire's wavy.
And the wire's wavy. And the wire's wavy because it wasn't braced.
And it wasn't pulled properly.
It wasn't pulled properly, right. So what you're seeing here is another rig job of some sort with nails actually sticking out in a very precarious and dangerous manner.
So the fencing company is like licensed and bonded like everybody else?
They should be, yes, and that's another thing to ask. The fencing company that you're using, if you use a person doing it on the side or a handyman, ask them for some photos, ask them for their experience in horse fencing, ask them for some references. You can see none of these horizontal posts.
But even that, Louisa, I'll tell you.
Oh, my friend Chad.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, Chad.
Hi, how are you, Louisa? That is horrendous.
I know, right?
Miss Louisa, what did we learn by this whole fiasco?
We learned to call Chad.
we learned to just go ahead and wait and don't be so I've got to get it done right now, because the problem is right now is that if the fence man is any good, he's going to be 5 to 6 weeks out.
True fact. Yes. You're right
if
there.
There's somebody that tells you they can come tomorrow, you can give you yes, I did it for John and Mary, I did it for Peggy and Carl or whatever, and unless you actually call them and have a sit down with them, then I can give you all kinds of recommendations too.
But Chad,
2,000 people in my phone book.
But Chad, even if you get references, what are the people? They're the audience. They don't really know what a fence is supposed to look like. So having a professional that does it all the time can come out and go, that doesn't look right because I do it all the time. So that's the thing. Even getting references sometimes doesn't help you.
Look at that beautiful, where they join the wire together. Look at that beauty. Isn't that phenomenal? That's like, wow. Yeah, it's, so Chad is actually, Chad's company, Chad Mega's company is actually the company I used in my prior farm. And he actually fenced his company fenced my entire place. And he was backed up as a good fence company should be. Look at that. You see that? Oh! That's horrific, isn't it? I mean, can you believe that? I mean, really, can you believe that somebody could honestly call that properly and securely fenced for horses? Right. It's a joke.
And now Louisa, don't forget.
That's a beauty, isn't it? Are you laughing out loud right now? Look at this. I'm not even sure what that is. Yes. So yes, a good fence company should be booked and busy. A good fence company should have references. And really, you're not just need that, but you do need someone who has a little bit of horse knowledge. Because horses are not the same as fencing for cows. They're not the same as fencing for sheep. Horses manage to get themselves into trouble pretty easily. And look at this. This is actually the fence on the road here. This is actually on the road, this fence right here. So, yes, wait for a good fence company to be available. It's worth the wait because you're just going to have to start all over again. I just heard the 1 minute sound. We're going to be talking more about this in the future and sharing more with you on fencing and tips for horses. So make sure you tune in. Chad, thanks for calling. We appreciate you. Please fix my fence.
You had to go through that.
Yes, me too. We'll be back. We're going to talk to Maria about dressage and massage. So stay with us.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton. She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
Join us for the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, presented by Ag-Pro Companies of Ocala on October the 21st at the Florida Horse Park. Enjoy the parade of horse breeds, take a free hay ride, and learn horse sports by competing from the safety of a stick horse. Win ribbons and prizes in barrel racing, show jumping, roping, racing, and polo. Plus food trucks and a vendor village. Don't forget to horse around with us October the 21st, 10 to 6 p.m. at the Florida Horse Park. Free admission for all. This event is part of the CEP's Equine Initiative, presented by Pyranha.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equine with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equine came to life. Equine, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the CEP's Equine Studios with Dancin Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship and our special guest co-host in the studio with us this week, Maria Ah Foon. Maria, it's lovely to have you with us.
Hello.
Maria is an expert massage therapist and actually one of the very few in my entire life I have actually ever even enjoyed a massage with. And she also massages horses and does a fine job of relaxing them and easing their discomforts as well. What's lovely is that she can do both. So if she comes out to take care of you, she can take care of your horse as well, which is wonderful.
Without traumatizing you, because you know how bad it can be if you get a bad massage therapist.
Oh, yes. I have told her my story, which was extremely uncomfortable situation.
What was that?
Well, we won't go there. But it's very, very nice to know that you're in the best hands and your horse also. So that's a win-win. Maria is also a dressage expert. She will be our dressage teacher for the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games on October 21st, which we're very excited about.
And that, stick horses.
And that should be all you dressage ladies and guys should come out and practice your patterns because that's the way you do it.
This is your chance at actually getting tens.
That's right.
That's right.
And you get to practice without the horse, so you can't use the excuse of, well, he didn't do the right maneuver.
This expression is all on you.
Ah, that's right. Don't think this is just for kids. This is a chance to practice on a stick horse and actually get your test down and practice without worrying about messing your horse up or
Great way to practice for your tests when you're going into shows is just trotting and cantering around the arena on your stick horse.
Yes, and usually the dressage demonstrations that we get are quite good, so should be a lot of fun. But Maria, you were just at the regionals.
Yes.
So if you're watching on TV or on Facebook, you actually can see some of these beautiful horses and equestrians in action. If you're listening on the radio, yes. Maria took some absolutely, these are beautiful. Really
I'm a nerd.
Beautiful.
I'm a horse nerd.
And that was at the Florida Horse Park too. So really, some beautiful, beautiful photos. Really well done. So you can watch those. You can go check us out. Make sure you check us out on. She looks very familiar to me. Equus Television. and Facebook, and you can enjoy this. But Maria, tell us a little bit about dressage for you and some of your future goals. I know you have some thoroughbred future goals.
Yes. I plan on heading back to the 2014 Retired Racehorse Project makeover in Kentucky. I did it in 2018 with my horse, and he may have lost his mind, which was great, but...
Dressage and massage queen. I like that. That's good.
Thank you, Isaac. But yeah, no, so they have the makeover where you have about 10 months to start with a horse that's trained or raced within the last year, and so everybody gets a fresh stock of horses, and you get to retrain them for a variety of different sports, and you kind of figure out what's best for them. And so we are going back to do dressage again, and hopefully my horse won't lose it, but if not, you will see it on my YouTube channel that is under development.
How exciting.
Yes.
I love seeing what the thoroughbreds can do. They're really amazing horses. They're did you see any at the regionals that you know of?
I'm sure I saw a few of them mixed in with the...
Let's see some more of those photos. You took quite a few, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to check in and watch these. That's lovely.
I know. It's interesting seeing color. I had a friend from Australia who was like, "What, you guys can ride in color now?" And I'm like, well, the rules have changed and they're open to interpretation, so...
I like that.
Yeah, no, I figure if you've paid that much money to get that high level, you know what I mean? Like, what's with some bling? Like,
I know. I like the fact that they've gone away from the strictness of the...
the traditional.
Yeah. I mean, the traditional's nice, but, you know, like you said, you've worked hard to get there, right? So can you bling it up a little bit? Sure.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was a younger rider we saw there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Pretty impressive.
I wore paisleys for my first dressage
the
experience.
unsung heroes of the horse shows, the ones that pick up poop. Just saying.
Really? My goodness. So dressage for you, why do you love the sport so much?
I love the balance that you create and like the feeling, because when you do it right, it's almost like driving a sports car. Like you feel like that extra power that comes, that you kind of get to share with the horses, and they'll actually carry you through a lot of things.
That's true,
It's
actually.
the dance.
Yes, it's the dance. And isn't it a great sport as a basis for all other horse sports
Oh
as
yeah.
well?
Like it took me a long time to realize that, like, you know, those circles are actually like there to build reps so that the horses can actually build up the strength in the carriage from, like, you know, the same balance of movement around the circle. And so over time they build up more, you know, strength in the hind leg and are able to move more uphill so that they can carry you better.
That makes sense. And you know, when you talk about that, I know that your passion is definitely dressage, but your passion's also balance. And not just balance for the horse, but balance for the horse and rider, balance together and balance separately, which is so much of why you do what you do with your massage therapy business, is to balance both and be able to work on both so you can put them together.
Yeah, that's always why I did the dressage stuff, because I've used dressage to help barrel racers and, you know, Western horses, English horses, all of the above. But mostly just because, like, it's really training. The more balanced the horse is, the more performance they can actually give you. And the sounder they're going to stay in the long run.
And to me, dressage is the basics of all sports.
Yeah,
it is.
If you're good at dressage, you can turn it into a sliding stop, a spin. It all relates. It's just now you're lengthening it or shortening it or spinning it faster.
Right. Well, it's an old sport. I don't know exactly the age. We can Google it. But
it was for warriors.
That's right. Way
so
back.
you go into battle, so you all knew where to go, and that way you got away from somebody else's sword.
Right.
It's Janice Dulock's horse.
Oh yeah, Janice. She came in and did the Pilates.
I know that horse very well. I know that horse very well. He spent 2 months with me.
But don't you think that that people who have a basis in dressage tend to overall have more discipline? I mean, I feel like, for me, when I was eventing as a teenager, very low-level eventing, I actually found the dressage very boring. And it's because it wasn't galloping, jumping, going fast, racing across fields and all that stuff. It was much more like disciplined and regimented, which I struggle with a little bit. As those of you who know me. No, Isaac's over there making like funny noises, I'm sure.
And Alejandra?
But, you know, for me, it was the one thing that did discipline me and keep me more regimented, because it was the one of the three sports that you do in eventing that...
Well, I wish I could take an ounce of dressage people that are, like, focused and I got to have this, I got to go towards this, and put it into most of my students. and then take a gallon of that laid back and put it in the dressage rider because that would really help them to balance their horse out.
I always said that like dressage was for like, you know, the control freaks of the world because they're like, no, must control all of the things.
It's really interesting the sports that people are attracted to. Like eventers, I always say eventers can't decide what they want to do, so they do 3 things.
That's tough, the triathlon.
Like, the dressage riders I used to ride with, they were all like doctors and like lawyers and stuff, and it was really bad because I had this horrible mindset, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, my instructor's like, you know, what's it called, Section 8 student. So I was like, oh, I just suck because I'm just a normal person because everybody was like, you know, all of these wealthy riders. But fortunately, I had a great coach, and she's a big judge, and so she taught me how to ride and not suck, which was great.
And encouraged you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's you need to be encouraged.
Well, half the battle is our own mindset, because there's plenty of times that I've like set my own horses back thinking that like, oh, they're not as good because like I trained them, and that's not the case. I still go in and I will win ribbons, and still like there's still that mindset. It's like, no, it's not me.
Maria Ah Foon, how do we find you? Midnight Rose Equestrian on social media?
Yep.
And you can reach out. You can get her to come out and take care of the horse
There's her logo.
and you. Oh, yes, there it is. Look at that. Oh, you can see it. We're going to break, but Maria's going to stay with us for the final segment of the show this week, so stay with us. We'll be back. Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equine, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show is brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
Reboot Self-Care Center in Ocala is the future of integrative healthcare, utilizing natural self-care protocols and the finest in modern technology. Instead of treating you, we are teaching you. Learn how to combat threats to your own health and protect your family. For weight control, performance enhancement, anti-aging, self-detoxing, or preparing for pregnancy, Reboot Self-Care will teach you how to improve your own health. Like us on Facebook now and find us on the web at rebootselfcare.com.
Join us for the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, presented by Ag-Pro Companies of Ocala on October the 21st at the Florida Horse Park. Enjoy the Parade of Horse Breeds, take a free hay ride, and learn horse sports by competing from the safety of a stick horse. Win ribbons and prizes in barrel racing, show jumping, roping, racing, and polo. Plus food trucks and a vendor village. Don't forget to horse around with us October the 21st, 10 to 6 p.m. at the Florida Horse Park. Free admission for all. This event is part of the CEP's Equine Initiative, presented by Pyranha.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet this week. And thank you to our television broadcast sponsor, Larson Hay.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancin Pete Rodda from Complementary Horsemanship and Maria Ah Foon from Midnight Rose Equestrian. Massage queen, dressage queen, dear friend, glad to have her here. And she is making this massive headache I've had for 2 days go away.
And she's slowing down your speech.
It's a miracle worker, I know. And it's because I'm relaxed. So before we get to Pete's tip of the week, I want to show you what the cavalry looks like. The Pat Myers Cavalry. Let me tell you what, I have never, ever seen a company in my life, which, you know, it's a few years there, that came in like they came in. And every one of the 4 of them knew their part. Nobody was talking like, what should we do? Who does what? It was like they were on it. And each one went to their work assignment and just started working. And I'm telling you what, you want to talk about the cavalry. This job was supposed to be a 2-day job. They were done in a day. And when I got home, I thought my electricity was going to be off. And it was on a day early. And I'm going to tell you something, never seen anything like the professionalism of the work, the way it looked when they were done. No, that's not the pretty thing. That's gone. Thanks to Nuvo and Alan Davis, that's gone. But look at the lighting in the barn. I mean, everything they did so beautifully, all permitted, all inspected. I didn't have to do anything. They had the county come and do the inspection. They had it all lined up. I never even communicated with the county. They took care of all of that, had the inspector come out, left the pipes up out of the ground that they put in there for the inspector to test, and he pulled them. Everything. I mean, unbelievable. I've never seen work done like that in my life. Pat. I know. It was like a well-oiled machine, and that goes to the top. And the training and that team, they were so polite and so communicative, and they told me what was going on, and look at how they made everything so safe. And gosh, that just blown away. So thank you, Pat Myers Electric. If you need any work done on your farm, these are the people that you want to see, because the way that they do work, not only is it done efficiently, probably usually faster than expected, and safely, which is really the key. And next week we'll have Pat Myers' second segment on barn safety and fire hazards and all the things that you need to make sure you have done right in your barn, and you know they can do it. So, but now we're going to switch it up to Pat's friend Pete.
Dancin Pete's tip of the week, brought to you by Complementary Horsemanship. Okay, tip of the week. So through my travels and my students and trainers that I teach, it all comes back to having discussions. So today we had a discussion about a student, one of the trainers I teach, about, well, I've been riding for 10 years. Okay, great. 10 years. So I do a clinic where I say, okay, everybody write down on your piece of paper how many years you've been in horses. How many years you've been in horses?
More than I want to say.
40 years with horses, okay? Then below that, I say write down the number of years that you spent 40-hour weeks, 50, well, it'll give you 2 weeks off a year. 50 weeks a year, so 40 hours. That means if you only ride once a week for 1 hour, it's going to take you 40 weeks before you get 1 week of what a professional would be doing. So that means your job is 40 hours a week. So that's 1 week. So you have to get 50 of those to equal 1 year. So they calculate that. So they started off with 40. They're down to 5 years after they calculate that. Then I say below that number, write down the quality hours, 40 hours a week for a number of years. And then that goes down to maybe 6 months. And then that usually changes as you progress. Maria and I were talking about that at the break is, well, that's all relative, because as you progress, you start finding out, well, that wasn't really quality. Now I'm doing quality, but that was quality at the time. So we'll count it, but then as you increase the number of years, it gets further. And then below that, write how long it's going to take you to reach your goals, so that it's totally different. So a lot of people write the infinity sign, meaning it'll take as long as it takes. with what I do with the quality. So the other thing that I say with this is Mark Rashid has a saying, some people have been in horses 20 years and some people have been in 1 year 20 times. So just because you've been in it doesn't mean you're progressing or having quality. And what's 10 years if you only ride once a week? It's probably about 6 months at the most. And then I had a professional one time that she was in horses for 40 years and it was 80 years. Yes, Maria?
I have a question. So what are
Sure.
your goals, since you're talking about like...
What are my goals?
Yes.
You're not boring. She just put me to sleep.
My goals is to help people get a better understanding with their horses, and the problem horses that they think their problems are actually they've gone too fast, they've overwhelmed them, or they haven't given them the right things to get the world to understand that better. That would be my main goal in my life. My favorite thing is not doing a clinic where everybody goes, oh my God, I had so much fun, thanks, Pete. My favorite one is they go home with a little disappointment, but 6 weeks from now they call me up and go, oh my gosh, I'm doing that thing you showed us, and now I know how to do this, and my horse is doing this, and they're progressing after the clinic. Because my biggest pet peeve is when somebody does a pony party. Everybody has a great time for the weekend. However, they can't do anything after that. Or the horse gets worse because they don't remember everything. So that's my goal. Good question.
Thank you, Pete. Complementary Horsemanship. And if you have a horse, you probably have a dog or 2 or 3. So you're going to get your tip of the week from Ocala Dog Ranch. The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
Neil Hennessy at Ocala Dog Ranch. Rewarding your dog. We all like to work for rewards, whether it's a pat on the back or a piece of chocolate. Same for a dog. Don't ever yell at your dog to tell them what you don't want them to do. Reward them for what you want them to do. Rewarding your dog. Give them a treat, give them a toy, give them a hug, give them a rub. Rewarding your dog will go a long way to increasing your bond with your dog.
Neil from Ocala Dog Ranch, I just want to say thank you to them so much. They are able to keep my dog Aslan, who has a torn cruciate there, for several weeks as he was resting and rehabbing, and was able to get his walks 5 times a day, and I am keeping up with that, Neil, so I want you to be proud of me, and
Yay.
Esther and Robin. I want you to be proud of me because I'm managing it so far and doing very well. So Aslan is loving being home, very grateful that you had him and Lucy, and they always come back thrilled and excited to come back for more because they love it there. Some reminders for the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games and Parade, presented by Ag-Pro. This is all part of the CEP's Equine Initiative, presented by Pyranha. That's going to be at the Florida Horse Park on
October 21st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Going to start off with the national anthem. Pete is not singing it. And we're going to have the Florida Mounted there for that. Then we're going to have an all-breed parade presented by none other than our
Pat
dear
Myers
friends
Electric.
at Pat Myers Electric. So you're going to have a good time. We're going to have hobby horse games in the afternoon, lots of demos, and all good stuff. You can learn horse sports from the safety of a stick horse and win ribbons and trophies. And that noise means
it's time to go.
End of the show. So we got to wrap it up until next week. We'll have Busy Shires here next week. We'll be talking about Horse Farms Forever and their pledge to keep our county from being overdeveloped and conservation, etc. So make sure you join us next week. Louisa Barton here, whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world or not. Happy horsing around at the same time next week.
See ya.